So we're back at the main menu now. Yep, no bonus fight. That's okay. For what it was, the genocide chapter was fairly decent. I felt like it had a lot of good atmosphere, with like all of the businesses closing, doors shutting. You could still loot the shops for items and things like that. The Echo flower in the store was silent. The Mad Dummy chase had a little bit of extra madness to it, with like everything kind of flying from the sides more than just the original chase section. I guess, I mean, for what it was so far, I think the Genocide Asgore fight was fairly fun. It's just that it kept getting bamboozled about when the final attack was actually going to happen, and so I kept messing up as a result of that. So it took me 3 attempts. That's fine. The second one could have actually gone through if I actually knew I needed to heal that one time, but in any event, the fight itself was fine. I actually enjoyed that quite a lot. I finally understood the eye attack, because I was trying to figure out, like, I understand left and right, but how do I know when it comes in the middle? And that's when they both the eyes flash. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't make that connection sooner, but that was how that worked. Overall, the game is pretty great, all things considered. Now, I can't know what the final game's score may be just based off of the first chapter, but I think it makes a very strong first impression. The fact that the items and equipment are immediately subdivided, so you don't have to waste time knowing what's where. The fact that in battle, you immediately see the HP that each item heals very conveniently in a row, so you don't have to individually select each item to know how much it heals. You don't have to, like, look to see on the bar how much it moves to know how much it heals. You know immediately before selecting it. And the menus are pretty easy to get in and out of. I thought the rune puzzles, as I mentioned before, were very good. I felt like it had a very strong puzzle presence. Again, it has battles in puzzle rooms, but so did the original Undertale. So it's still a pet peeve of mine, but I recognize that even Toby had done that in the original Undertale with the runes. It doesn't make it okay, but it's not necessarily any more of a sin for this game than it was in the original Undertale. I thought the cast of characters, the Rune Knights, were very dynamic, very fun. I don't think there was really much of a difference in how they fought in a genocide route compared to the original fight with them. But all things considered, I thought the music and everything else that was done in this game was done very, very well and nicely. It's definitely a must-play recommendation for me. I guess we'll have to ultimately see where the series goes from here. I think it made a stronger impression than Outer Tale right off of the bat. I felt like it had enough of its own references and allusions to Undertale without borrowing too extraordinarily heavily from it. I felt it was able to kind of break away from that mold and kind of have its own identity. That was the main thing I criticized and panned Outer Tale for, was just initially I'm like, oh, this is a nice little allusion to Undertale, but because of that, it never really, I could tell by 2 and 3 that I was just sticking too much to the original Undertale script. Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot. Horror Tale will be next Saturday, and we'll see how that goes. So as far as this game's final score, again, it's just the chapter, considering both the pacifist route and the genocide route. I think it's definitely an 82 out of 100 material. I think it's a strong, solid fan game. I think there's really just a lot of enjoyment that I have for this game. I don't really rate fan games that high usually, and usually they're usually so or games that are at least a recommend from me or an aversion from, but nothing usually that rises that high.